Last week, I made a video of what I would do if I was 40 plus with no money saved for retirement and I had to start over from scratch. What would I do? How would I maximize the time that I had left before I was ready to retire to ensure that I was going to be in the best financial position possible based on my circumstance? Well, in today's video, I'm going to be making a follow-up video to that. And this is what I would do if I was 50 plus with no money saved for retirement and what I needed to do to maximize the time that I had left before I was ready to retire. So look, guys, the things that I talk about in this video are going to be broad, right? So if it doesn't apply to you, then let it go. You know what they say, right? If it don't apply, let it fly, right? So the very first thing that I would do is I would stop participating in the Victim Olympics. What are the Victim Olympics? The Victim Olympics are everything that's happened to you in your life is somebody else's fault other than yours. You didn't get that job, somebody else's fault. Something didn't work out for you, it was somebody else's fault. Look, guys, I've never met anybody that's been wildly successful that participated in the Victim Olympics. So you have to start taking some accountability for where you are in life and be at peace with that, right? Be at peace with things haven't went the way that you've wanted them to, but now you have an opportunity to turn things around and maximize at the time you have left to work to set yourself up for a good retirement. Now, the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your budget in place. I often talk about this as being your roadmap. So imagine this, you're in a brand new city. You're dropped off in the middle of the city and someone wants you to get to the east side of the city, all the way at the edge of the map. And you didn't know how to get there. But if you had a map or a GPS, it would tell you the most efficient way to go. Sure, there may be detours along the way, but the map is going to navigate you around those detours to ultimately get you to where you want to be. Now, the reason that I use that analogy is because many of us try to do something, whether that's build wealth, build a career, build a business without a plan. And when you don't have a plan in place, things never seem to work out. Now, you may get lucky from time to time and things may work out, but there's nothing like having a solid plan in place to get you to your destination. The third thing that we're going to do is we are going to take a look at our corporate sponsor 401k. Now, there's mixed feelings on a 401k. Either people love them or they hate them. Look, I'm a big fan of having as many buckets of income that I can build throughout my career and my life as possible. And a 401k is just another tool to actually get me to where I want to be. Now, you're 50 plus, and as of the making of this video, in 2026, the maximum amount that you can contribute to a 401k is $24,500. And if you're over the age of 50, you can do catch-up contributions of $8,000 a year. Now, many companies also offer a Roth 401k option as well. And that's essentially the same thing with one major distinction, is that your traditional 401k is with pre-tax dollars, so it grows. You contribute to it pre-tax, it grows pre-tax, and you pay taxes on it as you withdraw it. Now, the Roth is you contribute your money into that post-tax. So you've already paid taxes out of your paycheck, and then it gets contributed to your Roth. And then all of that money grows tax-free, and you can withdraw it tax-free as well. So I would suggest that you talk with a tax advisor to see what works best for you. I often like 401ks for high income earners because we have very few ways of reducing our taxable income on our W-2 income. But again, talk to a tax professional about that. If you're under the threshold of contributing to a Roth IRA, that's also an option. That is your self-funded Roth retirement account. A lot of people like these if they're under the income limit, and because it gives them an opportunity to select more investments. Sometimes your corporate sponsored retirement accounts don't have a wide range of investments to choose from. The fourth thing that I would do, and this is one of my favorites actually, is contributing to a health savings account. This is a triple tax advantaged account, guys. And I don't hear a lot of people or see a lot of people talking about it, but essentially a health savings account is an account that you fund pre-tax up to I believe it's $8,500 a year for a family and around $4,400 for an individual. I'll put the limit for the Roth and the HSA on the screen here whenever I edit this video. But this account allows you to put pre-tax dollars into a health savings account that you own, and you can use that money for health related events. So if you need prescriptions, medical copays, insurance, anything health related, you can use that money for, and it's all tax free. But here are the other two things that make this account such a great account is that you could also invest your HSA into the stock market. So you can take your entire HSA account that you have and say you want to invest that into SPY. So you can invest that in SPY, and as you're contributing tax-free, it's going to grow until you're ready to pull that money out. So that's the second tax advantage that you have. It grows tax-free in the market. And then the third advantage, and this one's huge, any of the money that you withdraw, even after it's grown in the market, is withdrawn tax-free as long as you use it on a qualified medical expense. Triple tax advantage account. And I definitely take advantage of this account now, and because that's the account that I'm planning to use to bridge the gap if I retire from corporate America before I'm eligible for Medicare. All right, so that segues right into the next point, which is just your overall health. You're 50 plus, this is where you really have to start worrying about your health. This is something that you should have been doing your entire life, but when you're in your 50s, you really have to lock in. Get that gym membership, take those walks, lift those weights, really take care of your health. Because what people don't understand is that you can do all the planning in the world, have the best financial plan, but if your health fails you, none of that matters. None of that matters. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of your health. And that's why I believe that an HSA and taking care of your overall health could be 1A and 1B, especially as we get older. All right, the very next thing that I would be doing is if I had adult kids that I was helping to support, you gotta cut the strings. And for so many people, that's so difficult to do, right? You've raised your kids, your family, your entire life, and now you have to go to them and you have to tell them that you can no longer help to support them. I've never depended on my mom to support me. It was never her obligation. But in today's generation, it seems like that's not always the case. So if you're supporting your kids or a family member 50 plus, it's time to have that tough conversation because you have to maximize how you're going to take care of you. You spend your entire life taking care of other people. Now it's time for you to take care of yourself. And then the very next thing that I would do is, by now you're likely an empty nester in your 50s, right? If you had kids, you likely don't have any adult kids living at home, just you and your spouse. It would be time to consider maybe downsizing, right? You don't need the 4-bedroom, 2 full bath, 2,800 square foot home anymore. Maybe a home that's 2,000 square feet will do, and it'll allow you to reduce your overall maintenance of your house payment if you have one. And a lot of times, if you're in a home for long enough, you may be able to roll that money into a new property and pay it off in full. And then the last thing I would do is trust the process. Work hard to put a plan in place. That's your budget. That's your roadmap. We talked about that earlier in the video. Give it time to work. Whenever we put plans in place, give it 6 months to a year before you make any major changes to how you're operating, because it's going to seem very slow at first. Everything that you do, building up your investment accounts, paying down your debt, doing anything that's going to increase your overall progress towards your goal is going to take time to complete. So give it time to actually work before you make any major changes. All right, guys, so those are some of the things that I would be thinking about doing if I was 50 plus, nothing saved, or I had to start over from scratch and maximize the amount of time that I had left before I was ready to retire. What do you guys think about the things that I laid out that for someone that's 50 plus to do in order to maximize their financial situation after they're 50? Leave a comment down below. Let me know.